why do organizations lay increasing emphasis on the data that they have collected? Why is it that data has become so precious? In fact, data is referred to as a new oil. So there must be something about data that gives it this kind of prominence in organizations. One of the primary importance is that data, use of relevant data can lead to meaningful decisions in organizations. So in this particular session, we are going to be looking at different aspects of decision making. What are some of the important levels of decisions in the organization? What is the process of decision making? And why exactly do we need? What are some of the common methods by which decisions are made in the organization? Let's look at the first one, which is all about managerial decisions. There are three levels of decision making that happens in organizations. The first one is a strategic level, which is the top management team. This is where strategies are made, long-term decisions with a span probably of 3 to 4 years, and that really matters to the entire organization is being taken at this level. The next level is what is referred to as a tactical level. You may be aware of these different levels, and tactical corresponds to the middle management level. They contribute to the strategy that has been made by the strategic level through the plans, the goals that are in place in order to achieve the strategic decision. And at the operational level, you have the operations managers who are concerned with the day-to-day operations of the organization. How is decision made in organizations? What is the process involved? Look at the figure on the slide. We have about 8 steps, out of which the first 6 steps or the first 7 steps is closely related to your decision-making process. It always starts with identification of the problem. You need to be clear about what is the problem that you're facing in the organization. And unless you're clear with the problem, you will not be able to make any meaningful conclusions on the steps that follow. So look at your organization and see what is it that the problem is. Are you facing increasing employee turnover? Is it decreasing sales? Is it decreasing profits? Is it increasing expenditure? What is the problem? Once you identify the problem, then you will establish the decision criteria. So maybe even at a personal level, you have identified the problem is that you reach late to office every day, and that is primarily because you do not have a good mode of transport. And therefore, your decision or you're thinking of buying a car. So that just relate the whole process to this process of buying a car. Your second step would be to establish the decision criteria. What are going to be the criteria here? I could think of cost as a criteria. I could think of brand as a criteria. The mileage is a criteria. The cost of maintenance is a criteria. So many different criteria on the basis of which I'm going to buy the car. The third step would be to weigh the decision criteria. Which is the most important of all this? Which is the most important? For some, it could be cost. For others, it could be brand. You have to have an understanding of which is it that you need to prioritize. On the basis of which, now you will generate the alternatives. So I have model A, model B, model C, model D, and so on. And these are my different alternatives. I have my criteria, I have my alternatives. Now start evaluating the alternatives against the criteria that I have set. Let us look at model A. What is the cost? What is the mileage? What are the other criteria? How does it really fit into the criteria that I have established? Same comparison goes on for model B, model C, and so on. And at the end of that evaluation process, I will choose the best alternative. Out of all the given models, probably model C happens to be the best because it satisfies the criteria that I have established. Once you are thorough that you've chosen the best alternative, you are likely to go and implement the decision. And once the decision is implemented, whether it is an organization or whether it is in your personal life, you are likely to evaluate the decision. Have I made the right choice? Is this what really works for the organization? Where is it that things are not really working, and so on? So this is the complete decision-making process, the steps that are involved in a decision-making process. Now just think, how do you make decisions? Whether it be in your organization, whether it be in your personal life, what are the ways in which decisions are made? Any answers coming into your mind? Well, the easiest would be going by an intuition. Something tells me that this is going to be the best. So intuition is one way by which decisions are made. The other way by which decisions can be made is to rely on traditions. It has been that every Friday we do casual dressing in this organization, a tradition that has been established. And therefore, your decision to dress on a Friday is guided by that tradition. The third could be a rule of thumb. You own a restaurant and it is rule of thumb that you will always engage more workers on holiday seasons. It's a rule of thumb. Or the fourth, and what we are going to explore, is the use of relevant data that is available in your organization. You have lots of data. Can I use this data, relevant data, to make decisions? And is that really going to benefit my organization? So we have looked at decision making in organizations. Hope you've had a good start. Thank you. Decision making in organizations. So do all organizations make use of data to make decisions? No. Some organizations, some businesses will just continue to operate in the same way. And you can find plenty of examples around you. But there are other promising organizations which collect data, which examine the data that they have. Let's look at some examples. Netflix. Look at how this organization has gone on to shake the entertainment business in its totality. And how is that done? What really worked for Netflix? Well, on the basis of all the available data, if you are a user of Netflix, you definitely would know that each time you log into Netflix, they are recommending something to you. They are recommending programs, they are recommending movies or series to you. How does this happen? Algorithms that work in the background, that analyze the data that you have left behind, the basis of the movies that you've seen, how much time you watched it for, where did you exactly break off from one movie or a series and watch the other one. A whole lot of data points are captured. They analyze and they make some meaningful recommendations to you. That's how organizations are using data in order to make decisions. Another great example, which is often quoted in the analytics classes across the world, is that of Walmart. The huge Walmart, which is plenty of shoppers walking into its aisles every single day across the United States. And of course, the coastal areas in the United States are often hit by hurricanes. So there was Hurricane Francis, and a few weeks later, there was also Hurricane Charlie coming along the way. For Linda Dillman at Walmart, then the CIO, the Chief Information Officer, this was a great opportunity. So they had this whole collection of data. And what did she order her team? She ordered her team to analyze the data that happened over this period of time. A few weeks back, when Hurricane Charlie had hit, what exactly did people do? What exactly did they shop for when they got the hurricane warning? Which are the stores that they visited? What is the kind of materials and items that they bought? So across United States, across these areas where the hurricane warnings were hit, the other supermarkets made some decisions based on their intuition, on their experience, and they estimated that it is going to be the flashlights, it is going to be the water, and certain other items that are going to be sold. But for Walmart, the findings were different. They found out that whenever a hurricane warning was issued, it was different. The buying patterns differed. They found that one of the maximum selling items at this point of time was the Pop-Tarts, a snack item, along with certain other items that were getting sold. And so, immediately as the Hurricane Francis warning was issued, Walmart made it a point to stock their shelves with the Pop-Tarts. They had the trucks speeding on the highway and filling up the shelves. And just like what the data told them, immediately as the warning came, people rushed into the stores and bought these off the shelves. Remember, this is Walmart, which used data against the other supermarkets or the hypermarkets, which essentially did not rely on data. I leave it to your guess to know who made the profits here. It's a great example. Look at several other examples around you. For example, when you log into Amazon, how does it recommend you books and products? Or when you Google for something, probably I'm traveling to Turkey, I'm just Googling on Google. I'm just Googling to see what are the options for staying in a particular city there. And the next time I go on Google, I get a lot of ads which are popping up telling me about the possible accommodation recommendations for the city. How do airlines determine what price to quote to you when you're shopping for a plane ticket? That doesn't happen automatically. There is a lot of analysis of data that typically happens behind the screens. And that is the power of data-driven decision making. Good decisions always have systematically assembled data and analysis behind them. Thank you.